Chapter 17. June 24th. The morning after Florence, I got up, my body tingling and sore from the night before. I never knew that lovemaking could be so beyond description. I don't think either of us got much sleep last night. We were probably making up for lost time. My husband was so gentle and loving and took his time with me. And when it was my turn, Clayton was so patient with me, and he held back until I was satisfied first. I never had anyone, especially a man, take that much care with me to make sure I was okay and that I was receiving all I needed. My husband is more than I ever hoped for. Not only has he become my best friend, the person I can share my pain and my joy with, but what a lover. Wow, after last night, it's hard for me to believe that I was only the second woman that he'd been intimate with. From the way he loved me, I would have thought he would have had lots of practice. I am so amazed that a man of Clayton's character is my husband, the one I will run to forever and the one I will stand by through thick and thin. As I looked at him, I could feel desire stirring in my belly, but he was sleeping so peacefully. I went to the bathroom to take a shower and brush my teeth. When I came out, Clayton was still sleeping, so I decided to get breakfast started. When I came out in the hall, I saw a note taped to our door. As I looked closer at it, I read that it was a notice of eviction and that we had 30 days to vacate our apartment, or legal action would be taken. I decided not to wake Clayton. My mind was rushing with a million questions like, how could this happen so quickly? We had only been married and living here for about a week. Then it dawned on me. His father got him this apartment, and although Clayton never told me anything, I figured his father had the same reaction that my mother did to the fact that I had been an exotic dancer and was now punishing Clayton for marrying me. I felt more than despair at this news. The only reason we were losing the apartment was because of me and our marriage. Well, I'd never been one to cry or beg for anything, so I wasn't going to start now. I found some eggs and bacon in the fridge and some bread on the microwave, put the frying pan on the stove and the bread in the toaster. While I was cooking, my mind was busy thinking of ways to make money. I could start sculpting again and charge for the sculptures, or I could look for a regular job. I didn't have much experience, but I could learn and was quick on my feet. Those years of fashion school, although I hated them, taught me how to deal with people. I heard footsteps coming up behind me, and then I felt strong, loving arms wrapped around my waist. I smiled as Clayton kissed the nape of my neck. I turned in his arms to receive a mind-blowing, heart-melting, toe-curling exchange of lips and tongue that had our financial problems momentarily forgotten. When he lifted his head, he saw the eviction notice out of the corner of his eye. Clayton pulled back out of my arms and reached for the notice. I could see the lines creasing his face as he read it. "Oh, shit," he said, crumpling the notice in his hands and throwing it basketball style in the garbage. I knew that Daddy was pissed at me for saying I was going to marry you, but I had no idea he would stoop so low as to kick me out of the apartment. Damn it, he swore again. Clayton looked like he was going to put his fist through the wall. I've known Clayton all my life, but I'd never seen him look so furious and fearful. I came up behind him and gently turned him around. "Look at me, Clay. We will get through this. We knew that neither of our parents supported us being together, never mind being married. I don't know how they found out, but we both know they have connections in high places." I took a deep breath, knowing that he probably wouldn't like what I would have to say next. Here sempre was %. I was thinking about it, and maybe I should get a job to help pay some of the bills. I know you wanted to be the one to work to bring home the bacon, so to speak, but I think at least for now, I should be looking for something just until you find something. I know you're a man of principles and pride that believes in values long forgotten, and I respect that and love that about you. But we are desperate, and we need to find a more affordable apartment, and we need money to buy food and daily necessities. Clayton looked like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders. He took a deep breath and said in a voice so low that I could barely hear or understand, "I'm your husband. I'm supposed to provide for you. I have been looking for a job every day, pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, practically living on the internet, but no one wants to hire a screwed up war vet like me. In that moment, I saw a side of Clayton I had never seen before. The despair in my husband's face, the hopelessness and fear were frightening. It was like the war had mentally, emotionally, and spiritually castrated him, cut off everything that made him feel like a man. Although he was physically able to do his daily activities, I could tell he still felt like less of a man and more like a walking zombie, with parts that had no use and a brain that nobody wanted. Seeing Clayton this way broke my heart literally into so many pieces that I couldn't even count them. My very soul ached for the agony that this was causing my husband, the love of my life and best friend. Clayton, remember this. I put my arms around his neck. No matter how the world batters and bruises you and tells you you're worth less than nothing, no matter if I have to work or not, you are still all the man that I need. No one else could ever take your place in my life or in my heart. And be assured that you can always come home to me. I will be here with arms wide open, ready to love and soothe all the garbage and self-doubt that the world has put on you. I will be your soft and safe place to fall. That's a promise. Then I kissed him and hoped he felt my sincerity and love for him coming through. I looked on the internet at job postings, but I couldn't find anything suitable for me. I didn't have much experience doing anything but work in the fashion industry, and there were no jobs available in the field that I would be qualified for. The next morning, I was coming out of the grocery store where I had just spent the last $40 in my savings account when I came upon a help wanted sign on a diner window. Since I had nothing but time on my hands, I decided to go in. The diner was like one of those old-fashioned diners with long vinyl benches and napkin dispensers on each table, with a jukebox in the corner and light green walls. The atmosphere was busy. The restaurant was filled to capacity. I rushed to a table that had just been vacated and waited my turn. About half an hour later, a heavy-set woman with gray hair and a nice smile came over to my table. "Welcome to Berta's Cafe. What can I get for you this fine morning?" Well, I was kind of hoping to speak to the manager about the sign outside. "I'm Roberta, the manager, but unfortunately I don't have time to talk right now. As you can see, I'm the only one here, and my last two waitresses quit just this morning, and I have a lot of hungry customers." As if on cue, the kitchen bell rang. "Berta, orders up, table 10. A male voice called from the kitchen. "Coming, Mitch. I'm sorry I have to go. Give me your number, I'll call you when I can." She turned around to walk away. I knew this was my chance, so I got up and said, "I can start today, right now. In fact, I really need a job. Where is the kitchen?" A momentary look of surprise crossed Roberta's face. "Boy, you sure are an eager one," she smiled, her eyes shining with amusement. She turned towards the kitchen and I followed, and so began my job at Berta's Cafe.